Okay, take two. Apologies, my camera just shut itself while I was doing my live. So I said the Cosmic Deck of Initiation. It's a new deck I received this morning. I had it for a long time and I never used it, so I sold it. And then I saw it a few days ago. You know, I mean, your practice does move on. And I saw this for sale and I thought I want it. And it arrived this morning and I got obsessed all day by it. So I wanted to share it with you. It's a 52 card mandala with mandalas. So it's a round deck and it's Barbara M. DeLong. It was published by US Games and it's now out of print. So it comes in this box. So that's an example of the card. It comes in this box and another white box to put the cards in, which is a double box. But anyway, I love mandalas and I said I wouldn't get any more round decks, but here I am once again buying a round deck. Now, this deck is out of print. You can still find it at very reasonable prices. But the thing is, it was published by US Games. I think it was in the 90s, but I can't find the date anywhere. Where are the presentation cards? I've got so much here. Oh, here are the presentation cards. Maybe it says on it 1991. So, and it was printed in Belgium. So good cardstock, right? And I'm a fan of mandalas. I've always been. Sacred geometry, the same. I think to me, they talk to me. And if they don't talk to my consciousness, then they talk to me in a more subtle way. Sometimes I don't understand the card, but it doesn't matter. I try and get into it and feel it. And you know, you can read about it and know all your sacred geometry and mandalas, but really you have to experience it. And that's why I'd like to share this deck because I'm obsessed with it. And you know what it's like to have a tarot or oracle obsession. So mandalas came into my life at the College of Psychic Studies in London. I met June Eleni Lane and she wrote this book, The Art of Creating Future. And it's how to draw your own mandalas. So I took a class with her, which I enjoyed. And that was my first approach to mandalas. Then I've got so much to show you. I have a couple of books. I start with the books. Healing Body Meditations, that's in English. It's by Mike Annesley with Steve Noble. And they are modern day mandalas. They're not sacred mandalas at all. And this book is more a meditation book by chakra. So each chakra has got its own mandala and part of the body. So it's good if you want to learn about body parts linked to chakras. With this one. And obviously meditation with it. Contemplation. I also have the Ho'oponopono. That's a coloring book. I really recommend to color mandalas because this one is in French, but you can find them in any language, I suppose. It's a form of meditation. If you're like me and you find it hard to sit down and meditate, this is a good way. You use color on a mandala, and then you have a text that inspires you at the same time, which is absolutely great too. So that was for a couple of books. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I just show you what I have. I'm sure there's plenty of beautiful Batman books around, which I really recommend to try. Deck-wise, I have the Crystal Over Souls, which is a deck that is mandalas of crystals. And I absolutely love this deck. I did my Wheel of the Year once with it. Interesting. I tried to reproduce some cards, but it's not easy to create mandalas that are already created. Now you can see I wrote on the card little, well, it's in yellow, you can't really see it, but I had to write on the cards because I don't like too much writing, but it gave me a couple of keywords to go with and not relate to the book all the time. Because as you know, if you read the book, it shuts down your intuition. It's good to have the knowledge, but it's good to let your intuition flow. And this is a whole word, because a mandala, you actually you plunge into, well, that's what it does to me. I plunge into the card and I really leave that universe that is each mandala. So that's Crystal Over Souls by Michael Eastwood. I've got 1 and 2. It's 2 decks with with the 2 books that come with it. And oh, Sacred Geometry. It's way over there. So that's 2 decks too. It's the Sacred Geometry Oracle and the Sacred Geometry cards, which I have. And that's, if you like a Sacred Geometry, and obviously you can see there are mandalas in it, they're absolutely fantastic. Now, for example, the back, when you read the book, the author, Francine Hart, she said that when she painted the backs, she went on travels because it was so powerful. The painting was so powerful, and I believe her. I really do believe her. So you see, when I learn about something like sacred geometry, I can't just buy a book on sacred geometry because it bores me pretty quick. But with cards and pictures, then it really picks up my interest, and I can get in. So that's another deck that I would recommend if you're interested in mandalas and sacred geometry. It comes with 2 big books. I'll show you one, because if I take the other, everything will just fall. So that's one of the book. And really, there's a nice text and a full picture, not in color, but you know, it doesn't really matter too much. It's a price thing, isn't it? So let me move this. Let's talk about our cosmic deck now. It comes with extra cards. So there's the title card. Yeah, it's close enough. Then a little note from Barbara saying this deck is a tool for all who would seek to expand their awareness and become more complete, to cross the threshold and to challenge the mind. Use it with love. It will serve you in kind. It's very nice. I don't know what I'm going to do with these 3 cards, but maybe covering them and making a mandala on the 3 of them if I find I need something more in the deck. So it says she's a lecturer. She teaches in special education. There's quite a few videos of Barbara on YouTube, which I will link a couple once the... Oh, somebody's saying hello. Sorry, I'm like by the mandalas. Hi, tarot tales. I'm completely hypnotized by the mandalas. So ignoring you, I'm just in another world. I've spent all day with these cards. That I remind you the title, if you went here at the beginning, the Cosmic Deck of Initiation. It's out of print. It was printed by US Games, but Barbara said that US Games gave her the rights of the deck back. So, and she's not doing anything with them. Hi, Zephyr. So I received them this morning, and I don't do unboxings. I don't like them, but I played with them all day, and I had to force myself to go out today because I was just so much into that deck. It was just crazy. So there's 3 cards, but there's another one which I will talk about later, because this one lists all the cards, the 52 cards of the deck. So let's start with the size, the card stock, and all that. So size-wise, and I love this, listen to that. If you're into round decks, I know it's particular, but the mother piece, right? That's the mother piece. Guys, it's exactly the same size than the mother piece. Exactly the same size. So it means, I like it when I can put decks together. Let's put a proper card. It means that I can use both decks together, shuffle them together, and have one big deck if I want to. Isn't that cool? I love this. I love this. So that's the backs. Remember, it's a 90s deck, right? So now the backs would probably be white and more silver. You know what I mean? I wish it was reprinted, but I'll talk about that later. I also have another round deck, which is the Accurate AF, to stay polite. And this one is slightly smaller. So I was a bit disappointed. You see, it's a bit smaller, but I can still use them all together. Hi, Evelyn. Oh, yes. She loves round decks too. So same size as the mother piece, same card stock as the mother piece, really. Let me see. Yeah, because are they all, I think there were US games too. Let me check. Yes, they're all US game systems. So I suppose they went through the same machine, right? And they're the same card stock, same shine, same. Yeah, I'm not a cardstock expert, but anyway. So if you have the mother piece and you have this deck, try and put them together. I want to go through the cards, explain to you the system, what I understand of, because I received them this morning, right? And maybe I should put that in a picture, right? And then introduce to you a spread that absolutely blew my mind. Now, I only do 3 card spreads when I do readings, apart from the chakra, which I do, I don't know, 10 cards usually or more. This one is going to be a big one, but I'm going to try and show how it can be done. Anyway, let's start on this deck. Now, there's a little booklet. So 52 cards, blah, blah. Now, it starts with the spread, but I'll get back to it, right? I'll get back to it. Now, okay, I'll take all the cards away. I'm sorry it's late here. Well, late. It's about 10 p.m. and I don't normally make videos at this time, but I just couldn't help it. I had to do it. I couldn't go to sleep anyway. So 52 cards. Now, she says she downloaded the information. And remember, that was the 90s. In the 90s, there weren't many decks around. The mother piece was around, because I think it was 1981. So it'd been around for a long time. But not many people were saying they downloaded the information or they got it from angels or whatever. It's pretty, she was pretty out there to start with. As I said, I had this deck before and I never used it, so I sold it. And then a week ago, I said, I need this back in my collection. Because like a call, you see a deck, I mean, don't we all get calls about tarot? Oh my God. But this one, I swear, it was a call. It was a call. So let's start with, it's 11 cards to start with. The first 33 cards, 3 times 11. Why 3 times 11? Because they're all master numbers. So we start with that. Now, as you can see on the card, unfortunately, the font is extremely black and 4 times. As I said, it's a 90s print. Now, if we made a video about it, you would go, oh, we only put the name once, and but anyway, there's 4 times the name on it, and there's no numbers, and that really bothered me because when Barbara said that she created the deck on sacred numbers, and then they don't put the numbers on the deck. I mean, I didn't understand it. Anyway, so what I did, there's a presentation card, and you can see I wrote all over it. And I numbered all the cards on here. So when I do a spread, I don't need to go in a book. I can go to the presentation card and I see, for example, Law of Karma, card 21, and I know it's within a certain section. It's in the second section from 12 to 22, right? Already it helps me because they haven't put the number. I didn't want to put the number on a card. I might end up doing it in light orange, but I try not to write too much on my cards. It's a bit of a shame. So let's start with the first 11 cards. So first of all, you've got the chakras. Let's go. So the base chakra. And you can see the colors, right? This is more pink, red. Obviously, that's more orange, but then there's a lot of different colors in it. Yellow, pink and green. We get, so that's the heart, the third eye. No, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. Okay, so you've got, first of all, the 7 chakras, which people didn't realize that it was the 7 chakras to start with. So you've got 7 chakra card. To make it 11, she added, I'm going in, evolution, commitment, laughter, and initiation. And this, I don't like writing on the cards. No, I don't. But in this instance, if they just put one title and the number of the card, that would have been enough. But I missed the number because it's important to know that the first 11 cards are about the physical body, right? So because they're difficult cards to read. It's not like the tarot where you go, oh, it's the sun, I know what it means. Not exactly like that. So you need a basic structure to be able to follow it. So 1 to 11 is about the physical body, the chakras, about attaining spiritual illumination. And that's why these 4 cards have been added. Evolution, commitment, laughter, and initiation are all part of the spiritual illumination of the spirit within. So my first 11. Then we have the laws. Where's my card? From 11 to 22, we have all the laws. Well, 21. So it's the cosmic laws of incarnation, the spiritual laws we live with. And that makes it so interesting once again. We have the law of life, the law of continuity, the law of compensation. I don't know most of these laws. We talk about the law of attraction, right? We all understand more or less what law of attraction. I didn't know about all these laws. There's the law of attraction, the law of frequency. Now, that's an interesting one because all life is about frequency. All life is about waves. And as you know, scientists are saying this. So I'm really interested to learn about the law of frequency. What does she say about it? Energies shift and balance is difficult. New levels are being established. Communication with others flow in new patterns. The intensity of your inner frequency is changing. So too is your perception of several situations. New aspects within bring new levels of frequency with which to work. As you raise your energy level, you raise your frequency and take the next step in evolution, the new frequency on which you broadcast. The law of limitation, the law of free will, this one, the law of transmutation. That's another one we know. What happens if you break the law? Oh, I break the law often. The spiritual laws, I mean, not the human laws, but the spiritual laws. Well, what happens is that you don't live to your full potential. I'm talking according to the cards, but I believe too in life that's what it is. If you don't follow the universal laws, then the universe is not with you. You don't have the universe power. You're not using your potential to the fullest. I think that's, in a simple way, because if everything is frequency, there's a law of frequency, right? And if you don't catch that frequency and you're on a different level, like let's say a radio station, then you can't hear anything or share with anyone, I suppose. The law of karma and the golden rule. Is it within it? Yes, it is. This is the one that crowns the soul. So that's the laws. Don't report me to the spirits, please. I think I'd been in prison before you by the spirits police. I try to be good. I'm not always good. So, and that's what it is about being spiritual. Actually, it's recognizing where you are, and not pretend you're perfect, because I never pretended that. But recognizing where you are and trying to really develop yourself with your shadow side too, and not push it away, but embrace it and control it. So we're getting to where's my title card? I lost it now. I think it went with another one. Yeah, it's there. Are we moving to 23 to 33? So it's the universal energy to enhance the vibrancy of your life. We can be soulmates. I'm trying to be serious. Evelyn says, I'm waiting for the cosmic law oracle of Wisima to work with this energy. Oh, it's beautiful. I've seen it. It's just the postage just is killing me. But yeah, I really like what she did. Really like it. I don't know when it's out, in September, October, she's sending them, I think. But anyway, let's go back to universal. So the energy that enhances the vibrancy in our lives. Of course, universal love, healing, universal balance, forgiveness, compassion. Now remember, these cards are not just cards to pull, they can also be cards to contemplate and meditate on and read the text that goes with it. As you can see, where is compassion? Here is compassion. It's a small text every time. It just gives you, I don't know, a little couple of phrases to nudge you in the right direction. But then it's up to you, really. universal wisdom, universal abundance, universal harmony, freedom, and truth, and spirituality. Now they're all in order. It's a little bit like the major arcanas. It's like the fourth path, because the deck starts with the base chakra and finishes with the threshold. So there's a whole path, and that's why it's a shame they didn't put numbers on the card. So I found a way to follow through that, because otherwise I'd be lost. It's okay for most of the cards, but if you don't know it's within the law, then you're lost. You don't know what you're looking at. So a number would have been easy, because we know that it's 3 times 11. Easy, once I understood this. After this, we have astrology. So obviously that's not 11, that's 12. So we have all the signs in order. They're all hand drawn, by the way. They weren't computer drawn. She did them one by one. She didn't know she was making a deck. She was working, she had children, and then she would draw like 10 hours a day. I'm like, she never slept. She probably was obsessed with it. So that's all the signs. So if you're into astrology, you might use it. Myself, because the cards don't have numbers on them, I'm tempted not to use them to start with, to start discovering the others and play with the others. But I'll see. And then the last, which are, I'll go to it in a booklet. So astrology was about lessons and directions, like astrology is. Then we have unity, which is 46. This one is 46. Duality, Trinity. Then we have 2 guardian angel cards, which are black and white. Then we have a white card, Miracle. I don't know what she says about it. I didn't even read on that. Miracle. Magic is within. The true, absolute, pure magic of the spirit is yours to manifest. Well, obviously, it's a white blank page. And then the last card, the Threshold. It's about to be crossed, a new aspect of self brought forward. So it's really a path going through each card, right? Now we understand. I hope you understand it a bit better. I hope you do. The first 33 cards are based on the sacred triangle. It's called the Light Triangle of Enlightenment. This is a rough sketch I made, right? But to understand it better. So from 11, we have fine-tuned intuition, 11. And then there's a minus side, which is nervous energy and anxiety. That's what the more negative side of number 11 can be. The positive side of 22 is a master builder, but frustrations and disappointment in the minus side. So it's just to understand a little bit about the master numbers. 33 is teaching ability, but the minus is shy and insecure. So it got me into master numbers today. It got me into mandalas, about sacred shapes. I had a field day. I'm not grounded at all, right? I took notes all over the booklet. I think the booklet is missing something, so I wanted to add them to understand what I'm doing. Now, there's a few readings in the booklet, and I'm going to shuffle a bit. This one is a massive, how many? 37 cards. Can you believe it? How can you do a reading 37 cards? But I loved it when I saw it. I loved it. Imagine if you're doing your year cards, for example, the whole year. So you can start from 1 clockwise and you go to 12, right? Then you put card 13 in the middle, your focus right now. I don't know if you need it, but that's the way she put it. Then you carry on 14, 15, 16, blah, 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 until 12. And then 26, 27 until 37. And then you read it, for example, here, it could be the first house in. Yeah, that's each to their own, Evelyn. I'm very sensitive to this type of decks because it makes me push myself and go further to try and understand about sacred geometry, about how even our physicality within the space, which is something that really interests me. So you could say the first 12 are the 12 houses if you want, or it can be January, February, March, April, the way you want to do it. So let's say we're doing January, for example. Then you could read it as, well, we're in January, so it could be past, present, future. So you have, for your months, you have 3 cards. Or you could read it as body, mind, spirit. So for just 1 month, and actually I'm going to do, where are we, March? I could do April. Let's try and do just April. So I do 4, 17, and 29. Let's do April and see what I get. So, funny, that's my sign. It jumped out. So in April, I'm going to organize something. I'm going to look at some details. Going to be very earthy, Virgo, in April. Okay, I'll just pick it. Oh, and Taurus. I'm getting all astrology. And I said I wanted to take the astrology cards out. You see, that's what it's like when you're live. And the law of compensation. Okay. So let's say that's my month. Well, let me. Yeah, that's better. That's my April month. I've got Virgo, Taurus, and law of compensation. Or I could, if I want, pick the mother piece and do one mother piece. Oops. This one wants to come out. Oh, the devil. Yes, it is. So I've got the devil on top of it. There you go. A Virgo and Taurus and the devil. So, and the law of compensation. Let's go. So Virgo, it's my sign, so I know what it's like. By looking at the details, we forget to see the big picture. And I think it's one of my life aims is to look at the bigger picture with Virgo. It's earthy like Taurus. We're both earth signs. Let's see what it says on Taurus. Energy of growth, nurturing and support, integration. Okay, it's the energy expands, where in Virgo it doesn't really expand. It's about order and structure, yeah. But balance in spirit and intellect. So that's very interesting. I'm going to have a great month, I think, with the law of compensation. What's that about? Boom, boom. I need to put the numbers in there too. The law of compensation. For everything that goes out on equal measure returns to you. Well, it always does. The universe always gives a balanced measure. You cannot expect to receive unless you give. For every action, there is a reaction. Loss becomes gain. Oh, that's interesting. So, what I've lost, I will gain again. Now, this devil card is really interesting too. And that's like its own mandala, isn't it, when you look at it? All these people that are chained, and you can see here the different, I think they're family members, and I don't even know what these are. But look at this, that's the clock. So it's about time too. This one is pretty much time based because it's within a clock, or it could be the astrology wheel, it could be the houses because it's 12, 12, like this deck has 52 cards, and 52 is the weeks in a year. So all the numbers come back together, and that's what I really like with this. It's whichever way you go, you're always coming back to the same thing. So my April month is going to be grounded. It's going to be expensive too. And with the laws of compensation, even if I don't give, I will, no, I have to give to receive. But even if I lose, my loss will become a gain. Yes. Yes, Scorpio, the devil. Probably I don't assign astrology to my cards because I try not to assign anything in my cards normally, but I have to in this case because obviously they have. So we could look at it by body, mind, spirit, for example. So body, Virgo, well, it means looking at what you eat, how much you sleep. It's all these details that are so important for the Virgo. Taurus, it's about spending your energy, going out there, being outgoing for the mind. And the spirit is finding the balance between what you take in and what you give. So you start getting a picture of the events and that will be around, the energies that will be around in April. But with that devil card that I put in, that normally I wouldn't have used it to show these, but now the devil is here, so let's use it. The devil is saying that, especially about the law of compensation, it talks to me because as humans, when we give, we expect something in return because it's human. If you put a lot of hard work into something, you expect results. If you don't get these results, then you're disappointed. But if you don't expect anything from your hard work, then you will always be amazed by what comes to you. And that's a law of compassion. That's one I know because I meditated on it Tuesday, actually. That was the theme of our meditation Tuesday, is about letting go of expectations. And that's what the devil is saying to me, to let go of the attachment of the expectations so you can really work with the universal law of compensation. Now, if it was past, present, future, because that's what this crazy spread, 37 card spread, is telling us, we can do that too. So in the past, I very much kept to myself. If I talk about me, I very much kept to myself, and it's not about being shy, it's about being a bit secretive, a bit like the hermit, trying to find your own light, but not necessarily sharing it with others because you spend so much time trying to find your own light. But in the present, with the Taurus, it's more outgoing, it's more sharing the energy. So you can see the shift of finding this inner light and then starting to share it with others. And it doesn't mean giving lessons, not at all. It means shining brighter when you are with people. That's enough. You don't need to give lessons all day. It's about shining brighter. And the future means that finally, because you're sharing, you will get back. I will get back. I don't know space between. I don't know about the. I said I don't assign. I don't use astrology with tarot ever. I don't. I don't. So she wrote it, and I said, okay, that's fine, cool. Um, it could be actually. It could be Scorpio, but I don't know. There are many schools, and I just read, I think today, Christina Godet was saying, and she's right, that, tarot was a game of cards. So then we started assigning things to them. And of course, there's different schools, and we just go with the school that, talks to us the most. But um, I don't read astrology with tarot. I have enough reading the pictures. It's enough for me. So there are many levels to reading these cards, and I've only had them for, let's say, 10 hours. So I know I'm going to go further with them, but I wanted to share a little bit what you can do with these cards. I know they're not for everyone. First, it's a round deck, then it's abstract, because mandalas, if you don't have an affinity for colors, then it's not for you. But at the same time, I think it's an overlooked deck, and I overlooked it for many years. And I'm glad I have it in my collection, and I'm going to link below a couple of videos from Barbara. She's pretty out there the way she talks. She's really funny, but she seems to understand different universal laws, hence why she made the deck. And I can't wait to dig deeper into it, and then mix it with other decks like I've done here. And this is telling me to let go, so because that can be so positive. You need tarot that will say, yeah, it's all cool, but this is what's happening right now. So it's bringing you back to earth, which is really good too. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, because it's not a deck we see around much. People don't talk. I'm sure some people have it. I don't know if any of you have it. Yeah, yes, she does. She used a lot of similar colors in most cards. It's very pink, blue, yellow, not much red actually. Let's see. I don't see even, deep red. There's a bit of orange here, red, a little bit. The last card is a bit more, but I think maybe that's the hues she used. She said she started just drawing them, and she couldn't stop drawing mandalas, like an obsession. And then one day a friend of hers said, oh, I know these people from US Games, if you'd like to show your drawings. And it became a deck. See, when the law of life, when it flows. Yeah, I'll show you again. No, they're not all the same, but it's true they have the same tone, right? They do. And remember, I've got artificial light here. So they're a lot more vibrant than what you can see, because I've got a big light just in front of me, and I had to tone down the light of the computer so it doesn't blind you. So what you see here, when I look at it, it's more vibrant in real. Thanks, Elron. That's very nice. Thank you. I try to show different things. And if you look at the start of the video, I've got a couple of books I recommend. But then, there are books I've been working with for years. So I don't know what's come out lately. I haven't looked much. I have enough to work with. But, all these, it's like, I don't know if you work with the Marseille. But I was talking with a friend today. Well, I found them on Tarot Trader EU on Facebook for £6, £6 British. They're on Amazon. They're still on Amazon and at a decent price. I think they're on Amazon France. I think you can still find them for €20. So yes, I was talking with a friend of mine who bought a Marseille today for beginners, and it's a Marseille where they took out all the initiation. Is the card you mean? Yeah, there. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. So yeah, she bought a Marseille that I've been redrawn, and I said, look, you should have asked me, because honestly, a Marseille is difficult to choose because all the new versions, they're taking out what you need with a Marseille. And I don't want to be a purist because, I'm purists don't like me anyway because I'm intuitive. So, oh no, I should read the cards by the book, but I never do. But one thing I know about the Marseille, if you go to the source, in the first Marseille decks you can get, like a good Dodal, or whatever, a good 1700s deck, a full one. There are cues, there are keys within the cards. They're based too on sacred geometry, and there are keys in them to open your mind, and there are transformative cues in these decks, just like that. But it's just different. But you can get the same from a Marseille that's one from the 1700s. You can get exactly the same thing. I tend to be more towards, let's call it new agey. I don't like that term, but new agey stuff. But I also have the Marseille, and I believe they do the same thing, because once you plunge into these cards, like in a Marseille card, there are secrets that are being revealed. I don't know how to explain it without sounding, crazy or something, but maybe you understand what I mean. It goes into your consciousness and you're like, wow, yes, sure. I mean, like today, I looked at the master numbers and the Triangle of Enlightenment, and I just had a fantastic time just looking at that. And I was like, wow, of course, because life is based on sacred geometries and sacred numbers and waves, really. So, I mean, science is coming to it and is proving it now. So that's a way for me to access that. But that's not everybody's way. You can get a Marseille and go through that. I don't know about the Rider-Waite. Oh, does he? Well, there you go. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I don't know about the Rider-Waite, but I suppose too, because it was the Golden Dawn. So the Golden Dawn too had some secrets, some mysteries. They put mysteries in their cards, I suppose. But it's not a deck I like, so I can't really comment. But that's the cosmic deck of initiation. So, once again, I'm not pushing you to buy it or anything, but it's just I like to show different decks that you don't see around, and actually they're worth getting to know. Yes, Yves Renaud, that's it. He's from Marseille. He's not far from me. He actually lives in Marseille, and he does his reproductions really well. So there you go. Cosmic Deck of Initiation. Thank you so much for being with me. I really enjoyed it. It's like nearly 11 p.m. here, so I'm to bed. And and now, I've got it out of me. I had to do the live session. I had to. It just wouldn't leave me alone. So I'll see you very soon, I hope. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.